Political science is the study of politics and power from domestic, international, and comparative perspectives. It is a social science that deals with systems of governance and power, and the analysis of political activities, political thoughts, associated constitutions, and political behavior. At its core, this discipline seeks to understand the fundamental questions about how human societies organize themselves, make collective decisions, and manage conflict. It explores who holds power, how they acquire it, and for what purposes it is used. It is not merely about politicians and parliaments, it is about the intricate web of relationships that shape our public lives, from the local community council to the grand stage of global diplomacy. To begin our exploration, we must first define the term politics. In its broadest sense, politics is the activity through which people make, preserve, and amend the general rules under which they live. It is intrinsically linked to the phenomena of conflict and cooperation. Because individuals have different opinions, needs, and interests, disagreements are inevitable. Politics is the process by which these differences are reconciled, often through discussion, negotiation, and compromise, allowing people to work together and make collective decisions. It is the art of the possible, a mechanism for resolving disputes without resorting to violence, ensuring that society can function in an orderly manner. The concept of government, on the other hand, is more formal. Government refers to the institutions and procedures through which a territory and its people are ruled. It is the machinery of the state, the set of established bodies like legislatures, executives, and courts that have the authority to make and enforce laws. While politics is the process, government is the institutional framework within which that process often takes place. It provides the structures necessary for maintaining public order, defending the nation from external threats, and providing essential services to its citizens. Government gives politics a formal, recognizable shape, creating the arenas where power is officially exercised. Understanding the distinction between these two concepts is crucial. Politics can exist without government, as seen in stateless societies or informal community groups, where decisions are made collectively without formal institutions. However, government cannot exist without politics. Every decision a government makes, from setting tax rates to declaring war, is the result of a political process. The individuals within government bodies debate, negotiate, and compete for influence, reflecting the broader political dynamics of the society they represent. Therefore, political science studies both the informal processes of politics and the formal institutions of government, recognizing that they are deeply intertwined. The nature of political science is twofold, possessing both a theoretical and a practical dimension. On one hand, it is a theoretical discipline that seeks to build knowledge and understanding for its own sake. Political theorists delve into abstract concepts like justice, liberty, equality, and democracy, analyzing the works of great thinkers from Plato to the present day. They construct models and frameworks to explain political phenomena, aiming to uncover universal principles about how political life operates. This theoretical side provides the foundational ideas and conceptual tools that guide empirical research, giving depth and meaning to the study of political events and institutions. On the other hand, political science is an eminently practical subject. Its insights are not confined to the ivory tower of academia. They have direct relevance to the real world. By studying government structures, electoral systems, and public policies, political scientists can offer advice to policymakers and contribute to better governance. The discipline equips citizens with the knowledge to understand their political system, participate effectively in public life, and hold their leaders accountable. It analyzes political ideologies like liberalism, conservatism, and socialism, helping us to understand the beliefs that drive political actors and shape public debate. This practical application makes it a vocational subject for aspiring politicians, civil servants, and journalists. One of the main functions of political science is to provide a systematic understanding of government and political processes. It moves beyond mere opinion or anecdotal evidence, employing rigorous methods to gather and analyze data. Whether it involves comparing the constitutions of different countries, analyzing voting patterns in an election, or studying the causes of international conflict, the goal is to produce objective and evidence-based explanations. This systematic approach allows us to identify patterns and trends, making sense of what can often seem like a chaotic and unpredictable political world. It helps us to understand why some democracies succeed while others fail, or why certain policies are adopted in one country but not another. Furthermore, the discipline serves a critical function in society. It encourages a critical examination of the world of politics, questioning assumptions and challenging established power structures. By analyzing political ideologies, it reveals the values and interests that underpin different political programs, allowing for more informed and critical judgment. The study of international relations, for instance, helps us to understand the complex dynamics of global power, the challenges of cooperation, and the pursuit of national interests. In essence, political science provides the intellectual framework necessary for an informed and engaged citizenry, which is the cornerstone of any healthy democratic society. It fosters critical thinking and analytical skills essential for navigating our complex world. The scope of political science is vast, encompassing a wide array of specialized fields of study. A core subfield is political theory or political philosophy, which is concerned with the history of political thought and the normative questions about how society ought to be organized. Another major area is comparative politics, which focuses on the systematic comparison of different political systems. Scholars in this field might compare the parliamentary systems of the United Kingdom and Germany, or analyze the factors contributing to democratic transitions in different regions of the world. This comparative approach helps to identify general principles by moving beyond the study of a single country. The discipline also includes the study of public administration, which examines the implementation of government policy and the management of public services. It is concerned with the day-to-day running of the state, focusing on bureaucracy, efficiency, and the delivery of services to citizens. International relations is another crucial subfield, investigating how states interact with one another on the global stage. It covers topics such as diplomacy, international law, global organizations like the United Nations, and the causes of war and peace. More recently, fields like public policy have emerged, analyzing the process by which policies are formulated, implemented, and evaluated, often with the aim of improving outcomes. Political science does not exist in a vacuum. It is inherently interdisciplinary, drawing upon insights from a range of other subjects. Its connection with history is perhaps the most profound. History provides the raw material for political analysis, as past events, decisions, and institutional developments shape contemporary political realities. To understand the current British political system, for example, one must have knowledge of its historical evolution. Political scientists often use historical case studies to test their theories and gain a deeper understanding of political processes over time, making history an indispensable resource for political inquiry. Similarly, there is a strong link with economics. Political decisions have significant economic consequences, while economic conditions heavily influence the political landscape. The subfield of political economy explicitly studies the interplay between politics and the economy, examining how government policies affect markets and how economic power shapes political outcomes. Sociology also offers valuable perspectives, particularly on topics like social class, identity, and political behavior. Psychology helps to explain the motivations of individual voters and leaders, while geography can shed light on the influence of physical environment and location on political developments, such as border disputes or access to resources. A long-standing debate within the discipline questions whether political science is truly a science. Critics argue that it cannot be an exact science in the same way as physics or chemistry. Human behavior is inherently less predictable than the behavior of atoms or molecules. It is impossible to conduct perfectly controlled experiments in politics, as the political world is a complex and ever-changing environment. Furthermore, the values and biases of the researcher can inevitably influence their analysis, making complete objectivity an elusive goal. From this perspective, politics is seen more as an art, reliant on intuition, judgment, and interpretation, rather than precise measurement and universal laws. However, proponents argue that political science is indeed a science, albeit a social science. While it may not produce immutable laws, it employs systematic methods of inquiry to develop and test theories. Political scientists use quantitative methods, such as statistical analysis of survey data and election results, as well as qualitative methods like case studies and in-depth interviews to build a body of empirical knowledge. The aim is to be as rigorous and objective as possible, to identify patterns, probabilities, and causal relationships. The goal is not perfect prediction, but rather to provide reasoned and evidence-based explanations for political phenomena, which is a hallmark of scientific endeavor. Ultimately, whether one views it as a science or an art, the study of political science holds immense value. In an increasingly interconnected and complex world, understanding the forces that shape our societies is more important than ever. It provides the essential tools for making sense of the daily headlines, whether they concern a domestic election, a trade dispute, or an international crisis. It moves us beyond simplistic slogans and partisan talking points, encouraging a more nuanced and sophisticated understanding of political issues. It demystifies the workings of government and empowers individuals to become more effective participants in their own governance. In conclusion, learning political science is fundamental to responsible citizenship. It cultivates critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and an appreciation for diverse perspectives. It equips us with the knowledge to evaluate the performance of our leaders, to understand our rights and responsibilities, and to engage in informed public debate. By studying politics, we are not merely learning about a distant and abstract world. We are learning about the very structures and processes that shape our daily lives, our communities, and our collective future. It is a discipline that is not just intellectually rewarding, but essential for the health and vitality of democratic society itself.